This is from the book A New Pair of Glasses by Chuck C. It's an Alcoholics Anonymous book. Not a official Alcoholics Anonymous book, but Chuck C was an alcoholic, and this book was put together through some of his talks and stuff. And it's a really good book. Here's, I'm going to do two. Here's one. Do two separates. This program of Alcoholics Anonymous gives us a new motivation and a new action pattern in the entire business of living. Father Ed Dowling said it in this way to me many years ago, 20 I suspect it was. I'd talked at a St. Louis banquet, a yearly affair, and Father Ed was there. That was his base. Father Ed, as you know, those of you who've read Alcoholics Anonymous Comes of Age, was a Jesuit priest, but he was not an alcoholic. He was sort of in our program or with us from the very beginning. I knew him very well, loved him very much, and I think he loved me. He said to me one time, "Chuck, your cross was alcoholism. My cross was lack of faith. I went through all of my studies and was ordained and didn't believe a damn thing." Now that's a rough spot for a Jebby. I think 18 years he'd gone to school and he went all through his studies and he was ordained and didn't believe anything. And he said, "I came to believe by watching what happens to you people in Alcoholics Anonymous." Now that's a tremendous statement. I came to believe by watching the miracles in AA happen. And after this talk in St. Louis, we were going to get some coffee. Mrs. C was with me, and she said, "Chuck, maybe Father Ed would like to go with us for coffee." And I said, "Maybe he would, honey. You ask him." I didn't want to get turned down. I'm a sensitive alcoholic. So she asked him, and he went. And we sat down in the booth, and he started plying me with questions, and he never quit. I would say every 15 minutes, "Father, you talk. I've been talking all night. You talk. I love to hear you talk." But he'd ask another question, and the last question he asked was, "Chuck, tell me about the family. What's happened in the family?" And I said, "No, Father, I won't tell you. Mrs. C's here. Let her tell you." And so she told him what had happened in our family. And he sat there with his little mouth perched up, looking out the window, seemingly forever. That was a great habit of his. His mouth just looked like a little old rosebud. And he'd look off into space. He finally turned to me, and he said, "You know something, Chuck?" And I said, "What, Father?" He said, "Sometimes I have to believe that heaven is just a new pair of glasses." I think that's one of the most profound statements I've ever heard out of the mouth of anybody. Sometimes I have to believe that heaven is just a new pair of glasses. And that's exactly what this program has been for me. I said to my wife, "Honey, where's the difference?" This program is a new motivation and a new action pattern. Everything that I was taught as a child, in home, in school, and in church, has had to be reversed since I became older. Everything. There isn't anything that they taught me that is left except the multiplication tables. That's all. Everything else had to change.